Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fairfield High School as we get underway between the Mason Comets and Western Hills for OHSAA playoff basketball between two girls team. I'm Trevor Rose here with my broadcast partner Isaac Varga. And Isaac, a big game today for the Mason Comets, playoff game. Last year had a great run, soiled by a great game from Springboro.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the start of a new journey for this team. And like you said, they lost last year, and they had a good run, but it wasn't what they were hoping for. The last couple of years, these Mason teams, it's been state title or bust for these teams. They've been so talented the last couple of years, and they've been looking the same this year. Maddie Parrish and the crew have been looking as talented as they have in the past.
Comets riding into this game 21-1, the best record going into the playoffs since 2020-21 season, which was COVID season. Obviously, the Comets were 7-0, 17-0 in that season. Comets averaged the most points per game in the GMC with 59.2, and the most attempted threes. Attempted threes are most with 407. But only 35% of them have hit.
Yeah, this Comet team, they're not playing the strongest opponent today, but they have to take and prioritize the three-pointer today and try and get going for the playoffs. If you can knock down those shots early in the playoff, it can stem to bigger performances later in the games that are going to matter the most.
Absolutely, and we will go ahead and send it to a quick break. We will be back here with playoff action. We are back here at Fairfield High School as an administrative technical foul for the Comets will start the game as Parrish will shoot 2 and make both. And what a weird way to start the evening here, Isaac. But we will go ahead and go underway with the Comets starting with possession. Habra will inbound it to Maddie Parrish.
Yeah, definitely an odd way to start the game, especially in playoff time, but it's because I believe it's because Western Hills got to the court a little bit late. The Comets had extra time to set up, but that's the time they were given.
Knight inside, back out Stanfield. 3-point shot is up and it is good. Drained away. And the Comets have an early 5-0 lead with 7:30 remaining.
That's exactly the start you need if you're the Comets. You got to get going on the offensive end. You got to get good shots going. Taylor Stanfield hasn't been the best three-point shooter all year, but her getting going early is a good start.
Pass blocked by Habra, picked up by Parrish, back to Habra inside, and Parrish steals it away, gets another shot. That will be her 300 attempted shot on the season. She came into tonight's game only needing 1 to pass the 300 mark as another steal and went back to the basket. And a timeout is called already by the Western Hills Broncos, and we are not even a minute into today's action, and it is 11-0 Mason.
Yeah, the Comets are kind of exposing the Broncos here with that press defense, and they haven't done a lot of press this year, but today they're bringing it out against a Western Hills team that has struggled all year long. They're 2-16 overall, 0-7 in the CMAC. That is the worst. Only averaged 25 points per game. And they've kind of had a roller coaster of a journey the last couple of years. 2020, they were the worst in the CMAC. They lost to Lakota West in the first round, who ended up 1 game away from the state title. The next year, same story, but they played the champions of Ohio, Mount Notre Dame. Next year after that, they played the champion Princeton. And then this year, they're back for another good game.
As that will finally be past the half-court logo as it goes inside, and it is kicked by Habra. It will be inbounded by Western Hills. Be number 13, Sierra West, to inbound it.
Yeah, if you're Western Hills, you got to take care of the basketball against this Mason Comet team. They're one of the best at causing turnovers. And you got to move the ball.
Inside. Shot up. No good. Rebounded by Stanfield. It will go up the court. Inside. Parrish too tall for the Comet senior.
It's a good look there to Parrish, just as you said, right through the hands. And I'd like to see Maddie Parrish get going because the last 5 games she shot, as right there she gets the layup to go, she shot 33% in the last 5 games. So especially in this game that is kind of going to be a game that she's got to get going for that playoff.
That one's inside, back out to Habra, offline.
It's a rare air ball there from Habra as mid-range. She's definitely very good from the mid-range.
Actually has the second highest field goal percentage in the GMC with a 53.2 as a trip up inside the paint. And she went down hard.
Yeah, definitely not intended from Stanfield, but nonetheless, this Bronco team doesn't have a lot of players on this team, just about 7 or 8. Looks like she'll stay out there. Jada Williams, one of the only returners from this Bronco team last year. Back at it as a sophomore. Very, very underclass team is the Broncos.
So we'll be taking Habra inside to Stanfield, up and in. And it is
Habra could have took that all the way herself, got those points up, but it's nice to see her pass it to the extraordinary freshman she's been all year long, Taylor Stanfield.
and another one in, and that will be Gilman. Her first points of tonight's action, 17-0 is the early score.
Yeah, you'd like if the Broncos can get someone in the middle. Usually when you face this press, you got to get someone in that middle to exploit the press as Knight is out early. It could be the end of her day. You never know. And is Rodriguez. She hasn't got a lot of minutes this year. Big presence down there in the paint as a senior.
Yeah, Rodriguez only played in 11 games, gets the rebound back over to Stanfield and puts it up. 5 minutes remaining in the first period, and it is almost a 20-point lead for the Mason Comets. Number 1 seed heading into this tournament in their region. Next game, potentially, if the score holds, playing Springfield, who did beat Centerville last night, 47-46 in overtime.
Yeah, talking to most people were thinking Centerville, as that one goes down, Centerville was going to be the team for the Comets to face the next round, but Springfield got it done. It's another match of Springfield's just about 500, so it'll be a step up from this game. But from then on out, this Comet team is going to have to scratch and claw for every single one of the games as Gilman checks out and Jazz Johnson checks in for the first time today.
Jazz Johnson, and it will be Adaya Kessler checking in for Gilman and Habra as Parrish takes it away and gets it back up. 21-3 is the score. Kickball called on Parrish.
Couple kickballs early in this game. The Comets as Schaefer's going to the table. She'll be able to check in.
It was Jada Williams, who you mentioned earlier, the returner from last year's team with the three-pointer for Western Hills, getting their early points. And that's another one for Western Hills. Puts it 21-5. Parrish, three-point shot, offline, rebounded by Stanfield and put back up, 23-5.
See, that was the main thing you were going to see today. How is Parrish going to take this matchup? She's been a 4-year starter. She's been exceptional in the playoffs, just about averaging 15 points per game, which is about her average in the regular season. But she's coming off as she checks out of the game.
There goes all the starters. Officially rotated out of the lineup as
she's coming off her best season in points-wise, 18 a game. And you just want to see her get her shots up and make some shots, because that last miss was not great.
Imani Johnson inside, gets it to go. Again, Isaac, as I said, the starters are all out on the floor. Imani Johnson, Adaya Kessler, Jazz Johnson, Natalie Schaefer, and Victoria Rodriguez looking to pull up. Passed inside, tipped away, picked up by the Comets way back down inside. Johnson, three-point shot is up, and it is offline.
And for these bench girls, it's going to be a good opportunity for them to show that they can get some playoff minutes. It's obviously a game that you're in favor of. You can impress some people on the defensive side. You're definitely going to see a lot of good effort from these Comets.
So that one will be over the head of the Western Hills offensive player, taken by Kessler all the way up and in. 27-5, 2:20 remaining in the first period. Kessler, foot was inside the three-point line. Will be another 2 points for Kessler. Passed over the court and off the hands of Jada Williams, out of bounds. It will be Comet ball.
Yeah, Comets in the driver's seat obviously here early, but they haven't lost a first-round game in the GMC era. Actually hasn't even been close since the 2007 game. Just now thinking about it, 18 years ago where they won by 3 against Seton. But it's been dominance for this Comet girls basketball team for about 2 decades now.
Kessler moves inside, back out. Johnson.
Good defense here from the Broncos.
Kessler gets it in. Inside, thrown right at a Comet defender. The pass was pretty much intended there for Rodriguez. Schaefer off the rim. And a foul will be called on Western Brown. That would be Jada Williams with the block. Sorry, a push called.
Checking back in the game is Knight and Habra. And I like what first-year coach Gideon Dungeon's doing here. Obviously, you should have the win already figured out, but you don't want to have a week or so of these starters haven't played basketball. So even though it's an injury risk for sure, and it's definitely a little bit risky to do this early in the game and already a blowout, I like the decision.
Absolutely, I like the decision too, if I'm being honest, Isaac. As it will go to Habra. Habra will go down the court, back to Schaefer, and Schaefer gets it up with the right hand, making it 33-5. 45 ticks remaining in the first period.
Yeah, Anna Habra trying to get her assist up, it seems. She's had a good assist year, just a little bit behind her counterpart, Maddie Parrish, when it comes to assists. She's 6th in the GMC with about 2.7 a game. She's already got a couple today. Unselfish assists, you would call it. Parrish checking back in the game as well as Gilman.
As pretty much the entire starting staff back in it for the Comets. The only one that was not a starter that is still on the court will be number 11, Natalie Schaefer.
Yeah, and I like how they have different lineups out there. It's not all starters. You want to see who meshes well together. Even though we're a lot of the way through the season, you still want to see who works well. What a pass there.
Habra, far side of the court to Gilman, gets it up. 35-5 as we tick our way out of the first period.
10 seconds, see if they can get a shot up here.
It'll be stealed by Parrish. 3-point shot is offline. No good. A huge first period for the Comets, making it 35-5 at the end of the first period. We will be back here after a quick break. We will be back here for second period action on Mesa Sports Radio. We are back here for second period action. It'll be Western Hills to start with the ball. Down by 30 at the start of the second period.
You know, the Comets started with a press in that first quarter, trying to get this lead up as quick as possible. It definitely worked in their favor.
Yeah, you'd say that again. I mean, now the starters back on the floor at all five. Stanfield checks back in for Schaefer. Back out. Parrish, 3-point shot is up. It is no good. Tipped back and saved by Knight. stolen away by Stanfield. Inside, Habra, fizz foul. She will be sent to the line for an and one, and that one will still count, making it 37-35, pending the and one.
Yeah, we're starting near that range where we're going to start to see a running clock real soon. The Comets still staying on the brakes with this high, intense pressure. Habra, Comets have not been great from the line this year, just about 66% as a team, which is not what you like to see, especially out of a team you're expecting to be favorites or definitely contenders for this state title.
As Haber's shot will be good, 38-5. Shots up, no good. Rebound by Stanfield. Having some heavy contention inside the paint as Parrish will drive it coast to coast and gets it to go. Driving up the court as 5 players will go to the table to check in. Stolen away by Knight to Parrish into Habra, and it's good.
Take there from Habra.
Dribbling up the court is Williams. Drives inside, stolen away by Parrish to Habra, and it's good. 5 players will come onto the court, and actually a timeout will be called by Coach Dudgeon. It will be a full timeout.
Going back to this Western Hills team the last couple of years, it's definitely been a roller coaster of emotions. Going back to 2019 to now, they've played the state champions, that are the state champions in every year but one, which was 2020, where they played Lakota West, and they ended up 1 game from getting to the state. So it's a good look for this Comet team that they're playing Western Hills in the first round.
Up the court will be Williams. And around the horn.
Yeah, if you're Western Hills here, you just got to move the ball, be unselfish with it, try and get it to the middle.
Tipped away by Imani Johnson, picked up by Kessler. Jazz Johnson, 3-point shot, wide open off the rim. And right to Jazz Johnson, to Imani Johnson. Great pickoff by Jazz Johnson, was right in the face, and it was thrown right at her. Inside, and it was offline by Dia Kessler. And Isaac, for the Western Hill Mustangs, they're going to have to do a lot to claw back into this.
Yeah, and it all starts with getting shots up. Haven't seen a lot of shots today. It's kind of been passing around and a lot of turnovers, and something you can't have against this Mason Comet team that goes off those turnovers exceptionally well.
Goes inside, back out to Williams. 3-point shot is up. It is offline. Rebounded by Schaefer. Schaefer to Imani Johnson. Drives inside the paint. Shot is up. Offline. Rebounded by Jazz Johnson. Victoria Rodriguez will put it up. It will be tipped out of bounds and stay Comet possession.
I was not expecting a lot of these Comet starters to play the rest of the game. All of them are out right now, trying to get some of these seniors that haven't got a lot of time this year some play time.
Rebounded by Rodriguez. Put up, and Kessler gets it to go in and will be fouled and sent to the line.
It's just a second chance opportunities that these Comets have had all day long. But you got to think about the little things. Even when it's a big league like this, Comets haven't been the best on the free throw line, so you got to focus on that as that one can't get to go.
Rebound by Boyd Reed for the Mustangs. Taken up the court by Williams.
About just 4 minutes left. Comets have played exceptional defense so far, only allowing 5 points. Mustangs have only allowed 25 points. Only scored 25 points a game. Good shot there.
Skyhook kind of goes in. Schaefer back to Kessler. All the way over. Imani Johnson, three-point shot. No good. And the jump ball will be called, and it will stay a Mason possession. And the arrow will flip over to the Mustangs.
So we got to love that ball movement, though. Comets moving it all the way around. Had a good look with Johnson, but couldn't finish it. Going even deeper into the bench. Hurlinger checks in as well as Bianchini.
Hurlinger also checks in as the shot by Rodriguez is no good. Be rebounded by the Mustangs, and they will take it up the court. Foul will be called on Jazz Johnson for a push. Being inbounded by the Mustangs will be number 13, Ciara West. As it will be blocked by Johnson. Back inside to the other Johnson, and it will go in. Jazz Johnson blocks it, takes up the court, passes it to Imani Johnson, and Imani Johnson puts it up for the two-point shot. And Isaac, they're almost at the 50-point mark, and
yeah, you're
we still
thinking
have
what I'm
220.
thinking. Nearing that 100-point mark. You would think Comets in the second half would slow it down just a bit, just looking at the score, but you never know.
As the mid-jumper
Good rebound there from Hurlinger.
Imani Johnson to his Hurlinger way offline for Jazz Johnson as subs will come in. Whole team off, a whole new team on.
Number 2, Kessler. Number 3, Taryn Killens. Number 11,
Taryn Killens checks in. Hasn't played that many games this season, only 6 games. Check in for her 7th of the season here in the playoffs. Inside, stolen away by Gilman. Gilman takes it up the court, and she'll get it in. Puts him at 50.
Also, Sophie Bevan in there for the first minutes she's had all year on varsity. Just a sophomore for this Comet team.
JV player getting promoted as Gilman over to Kessler, back to Schaefer. Three-point shot for Gilman, offline. Rebounded by the Comets, a scram for the ball, and it will go to the Western Hills.
Like the physicality from the Mustangs. Still fighting, seen great body language from this team, even down the wide margin.
Gilman foul, another foul. Send it down to the baseline for a throw-in. Inbound for Western Hills. .55 ticks remaining in the first half. The shot is up. It is no good. Airballed. Bevan over to Kessler. Bevan had the original rebound. Inside, Killens to Schaefer. It's good. 52 points for the Comets in the first half.
I mean, you can see even with how deep the Comets have got with their bench, still everybody playing a great basketball game, doing their part, passing the ball. You'd think from some of these girls that don't play a lot, they would just be shooting the ball, trying to get their part in the points. But great pass there from Killens.
Kessler will take it up the court with 15 seconds remaining. Over to Schaefer, back to Kessler. Gilman three-point shot is off the rim. And we'll go to halftime with a huge lead for the Mason Comets. It will be 52-7 as we head to halftime. We will be back here on Mason Sports Radio with the rest of the coverage. We are back here for second half action as Williams will take it up the court. Comets clinging to a huge lead, 52-7 is the score. As the rebound from Hurlinger will go to Imani Johnson.
Yeah, I'd say it was a good half for the Comets. 52 points, by far their most of any game this year. They almost averaged 59 a game, and they already got 52 at the half. Used a lot of their starters, used a lot of their bench. Pretty much everybody's got in the game already today.
Hurlinger three-pointer offline, rebounded by Western Hills. It will go the other way.
And that's someone that's definitely want to get in the scoring column in this second half.
Three-point shot is up. It is no good. Rebounded.
Could have been a travel there. Keep playing.
Could have been, but I don't know if fouls are the way to speed this game up. Imani Johnson will take it up the court.
Couple of good looks there from Western Hills. They didn't really attempt a lot of shots in that first half.
Three-point shot is up, and it is good. Imani Johnson hits the three-pointer, makes it 55-7. We have a running clock going here in the second half for the Comets.
Yeah, Comets were big favorites coming into this game. Didn't slump in the first half, and it's nice to see. It's nice to see. You think for this Comet team, they're playing a team that has less talent, but you'd think they'd play down in the competition a little bit. They're playing very good basketball right now.
Yeah, playing great basketball as Jazz Johnson will take it across the court. Imani Johnson down to Bianchini. Drive inside, left-hand shot offline for Jazz Johnson. Picked up by Rodriguez. Back out to Jazz Johnson. And it is good. 57-7, a 50-point lead for the Comets.
Yeah, the Comets will be back in action just on Saturday, all the way in Fairborn against Springfield. Be a little better competition in that game, just a 4-seed Springfield is.
And Springfield coming off of the huge upset, not really the huge upset, but a big upset in the Southwestern Ohio
Called a 12-5 upset.
Yeah. Not really, but it was the 3-4 upset, but and
hello.
no good. No foul called. Questionable one. Could have been called a foul, but I guess we're kind of at the point where what's the point in calling fouls if the score
Yeah,
is
you're not gonna see a lot of whistles in this second half, you would think.
5 Comet players head to the bench to the score as rebound put back up.
There it
for
is.
Western Hills makes it 57-9. Imani Johnson, Jazz Johnson inside to Bianchini, back out. 3-point shot is up, and it is offline, rebounded by Western Hills.
Comets, again, 5 girls checking in the next timeout or next stoppage. It's been pretty much 5 for 5 all day for this Comet team, trying to get different lineups in there.
Back out. Three-point shot is up and nowhere close to the bucket. It will be rebounded by Bianchini and go the other way.
Got a sub stoppage here, just about 3.5 in this third quarter.
Mason will take a 30-second timeout there. Burn their second timeout of the game. It is 57-9, a huge, huge lead for the Comets, a 48-point lead.
Couple more updates going on for these Mason athletics on Friday. The Comets of the boys basketball team will face a GMC opponent in the first round, Princeton Vikings, at Lakota West High School. It should be a good game. This Comet boys team has been destined to have that big win. They had a good one against Middletown. It's a team that has had a lot of basketball together in earlier ages, but not really at that varsity level. Bryson Johnson definitely has that ability to have 30, 35 points. You see another timeout here. But, Tyler, what do you think about that game? Princeton's obviously one of the best teams, well, the best team in the GMC this year. They just clinched it with a 30-point win at this arena against Fairfield.
Yeah, Princeton winning the GMC was kind of the big thing around. I hear a lot of it while watching around the league. You know, typically I'm on my phone at games. When I'm not calling, I get the Twitter notifications. I look around the league, see what's going on. As another timeout was called, I think, by Western Hills, of being a full timeout. On the court for the Comets, Gilman, Killens, Schaefer, Bevan, and Kessler.
Just going back to that game, Princeton, you mentioned they came off, it was a GMC, for the GMC here at Fairfield. They were dominant. They dominated against the Comets the first time at Mason's Arena. And then the second time when they went to Princeton, the Comets were staying in there. It was a tie game at halftime. So we've seen a lot of this year. If the Comets can put two halves together, it could be a close one down there at Lakota West. A lot different than most people would think.
I mean, you look at the last game, senior night against Lakota West. They were in it for almost the entire game.
And it mostly becomes because there's not a lot of depth in that Comet team. Just about 7, 8 guys that Coach Tui really trusts. And sometimes you get a little tired when you're facing extraordinary GMC teams like that.
Inside to Bevan, offline, and it will be rebounded by the Mustangs. The Mustangs will take it up the court.
Comets still in that 2-3 zone. Haven't seen man-on-man all day. You'd think you'd see every single personnel, but you never know. Springfield might be here trying to see everything from this Comet team and what they can have.
Foul will be called on Gilman. Being sent to the line.
It's Gilman's third. I think she's been the only one to foul for this Comet team today.
Jazz Johnson also had a foul earlier. So
75%, 3 out of 4.
Yeah, 3 out of 4. As off the court will be Gilman and Schaefer for Bianchini and Hurlinger. Next shot is up, and it is good, cutting the lead to 47. Kessler takes it up. Hurlinger back, a double dribble should have been called. Was not.
Definitely should have been. Comets will take it, though.
At this point, I mean, don't call anything. You're making the game longer if you do. It'll be down the court. She loses it, and it will go the other way. The Comets will take the possession back. Monty Johnson will check back in for the Comets, and she will take it up, being pressed by Williams, using her speed to get away from Williams. Playing catch between Hurlinger and Killens, as it will go back to Johnson. Johnson will lose it. Almost tipped away.
Looking even deeper into this tournament, kind of seeing this Comet path. Going back to that Springfield Day game, they won it in overtime, which is something you could take mind of. They won by 1 in the Southwest 5 division. Comets winning this game, they'll be in the final of the Southwest 5. But going on to the game that they'll play next, most likely will be number 1 seed Finley. So another tough challenge for the Comets. It's going to keep getting bigger and bigger the farther you go, obviously.
Yeah, and the team really that I think the Comets' biggest threat so far will be a team in Region 4, Mount Notre Dame.
You got to.
Three-point shot is up, and it is off the rim. No good. 57-10 at the end of the third period. We'll go ahead and send it to another quick break. We will be back here on Mason Sports Radio. We are back here for the fourth and final quarter of today's action between the Mason Comets and the Western Hill Mustangs.
The Comets have controlled the whole game, but looking to that third quarter, only won by 2 points after winning by a margin of 45 in those first 2 quarters.
It has been all Comets, like you said, from the start of the game, having an administrative technical foul to start the game. That would have been 2 free throws for Maddie Parrish, as that one sails over the head of Hurlinger, and it will go out of bounds.
And talking about outscoring opponents, the Comets have outscored their opponents by a combined 113 in the past 4 first-round games. Not a difference here in 2025.
Killens over Hurlinger with the rebound. Imani Johnson inside to Biagini.
Looks like they're trying to get Killens a bucket here.
Yeah, Killens only playing in, this is her 7th game of the season, averaging.
Oh.
It is offline, and a push will be called on
What
Western
a
Hill.
find from Killens, sister of one of the best Comets in the past decade, you could say. Trey Killens at Wittenberg right now. Accomplished 1,000 points there earlier in his season, his senior season. But what a dish there, number 3.
Inside, Bevan. Back out to Killens.
A lot of ball movement here.
Inside, no good. Killens again up, fouled as she goes up, sending her to the line.
Get her chance of the first points of the year. Just only a couple attempts, but haven't made any yet.
Killens 100% on the year for free throw attempts. Yet she has only shot 2, and she has hit both. The first one is up, and it goes in bounces off the rim, and an announcer jinx there. Sorry for that one. As
About to say, if she went 3 for 3, you might want to get her in the game at the end of the game. Right there, 3 for 4.
3 for 4. She's
With ease.
75% on the year.
Comets still in that 2-3.
That one was taken away. Monty Johnson inside. Killens could not find it. Bevan up, and she gets it. Her first points of the season makes it 60-10, a 50-point lead for the Comets with 4.5 to go.
Yeah, that's something you love to see. Bevan get on the board. Her first points of the season. Her first varsity points ever. Just a sophomore. Could be the future of this Comet team. Never know.
Never know. After this action concludes, there's another game going on here at Fairfield High School. Seton takes on Oak Hill. It's going to be a good matchup.
That'll be a really good game. Oak Hill's challenged the Comets multiple times this year.
They're a very feisty team. I'll give them that. Very feisty.
Just losing. They just lost with the Comets by just 6 both times this year. So a team that the Comets could definitely see. Also another team in the GMC they could definitely see is Princeton. A lot of people forgot about Princeton. Won the state title just a couple years ago. Have, in my opinion, one of the best players in the GMC, Amari Girton. Just a team that can play.
And Mary Girton, second in the GMC in points per game. Only person in front of her is the Comets' own Maddie Parrish. Has that one inside. Bianchini will get it up. The assist from Bevan.
Bianchini, volleyball star. Joined basketball team, getting the first points of her season right there. Comets with the 52-point lead, just about 3 minutes here at Fairfield. Not a lot of minutes from either Stanfield. Haven't seen Habra in since first or second quarter. It makes you wonder, yeah, you don't want to get him hurt, but you start to lose those in-game basketball natural things that you go through every single week if you aren't playing until Saturday. So it's something just to keep in mind. Don't disagree with Coach Dungeon here, keeping his superstars that he's going to need in this state title run on the sidelines. But for Western Hills, they got 8 underclassmen on this team. So definitely a team that can be good in the future.
So we come out of the timeout.
This is a team that was good 2 years ago. 14-6, first in the CMAC. So you never know. We've seen it with a couple of teams in the GMC. If you lose one of those couple players, you could go downhill really quickly. Unfortunately, we've seen that with them the last couple of years. As opposed as being strike. I don't think I've ever seen some activity like this on the basketball court in all my days.
Man.
Just about 2 minutes left, down 50, taking a couple of poses. And holding the basketball, too. Crazy work.
I don't think they even want to give the Comets a chance to make this maybe a 64-point game.
As Coach Dungeon tells Johnson to scoot up a little bit. Comets feel a little bit of disrespect here, and I would too.
They lost it but got it back.
It's been a very odd second half, to say the least.
That one up, no good. Rebounded by the Comets, Imani Johnson. She'll take it down the court. She's sprinting down the court. Hurlinger.
And you can tell the tensions are high now. This defense is looking a lot more fierce. Like they have something to play for these last 2 minutes of their season. Trevor, have you ever seen that? Where you got the photographer on the sideline mid-game?
No, I don't think I've ever seen that at any level of any sport. I don't. A foul's called down low. Hurlinger, three-pointer. She will not be able to connect, and Bianchini gets the rebound. Hurlinger inside to Bianchini. Floaters up. It is no good. Rebounded by the Mustangs. It will go back the other way.
We'll see if they attempt a shot here, if they'll just finish it out. About a minute to go in the game. Western Hills clapping it up. Just trying to finish this game out. Couple of smiles from this Comet team.
Showing off the handles. Loses her
And
dribble.
Western Hills is loving it, and I love it too. A team, they haven't had the year they've wanted. They're coming out here playing arguably the best team in the state. They haven't had the performance they've wanted, just having a little bit of fun then in the season. It looks like, I wouldn't be surprised, Comets hold this just to be a little bit of respect to end this one off.
Making Williams really work for it. Just playing catch. Imani Johnson with 8 seconds left. Inside, Bevan. Back to Bianchini, and that will be the end of the game. A 52-point victory for the Comets in a wild one, 62-10 final. Isaac, all Comets from the start.
Yeah, it's always the start. First round, especially if you're the 1 seed, it's going to be a game that you can decide in GMC Sports if you want to take that bye, if you want to play. And I like that this Comet team is always taking that game just to keep everything fresh, keep all the body flowing through this playoff run. And this is a special team that I can see going places.
Yep, and that will be the end of today. Again, I've been Trevor Rose here with my broadcast partner, Isaac Vargo. Caden Winship working behind the scenes, and Jacob Cameron working camera. That will be all for today. Comets win. We will see you Friday night for boys versus Princeton.